Listen, one time for your mind, two ghetto politicians. 3 for all my niggas locked down in the system. Man, listen, we be on a life.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith, and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. Marc Gasol will take the floor tonight, the younger Gasol brother. Hasn't won a championship yet, which of course Pau has. But Shaq, would you consider him the top center in the league, Marc Gasol?
He's in the top two. You know, what I like about his game, there's no weaknesses in his game. Hits all of his shots from anywhere, makes his free throws at almost 80%. I like to see him be a little bit more meaner, a little bit more dominant. But to answer your question, he's in the top two, Ernie.
Top two. Where's he rank with you?
Wow, I'm just trying to figure out who's your one. Is it DeMarcus Cousins?
It sure is.
Oh, I knew he was going there. But he's a great passer. I don't know if Cousins is the passer that Gasol is, but nobody, absolutely no one can defend that hook shot, that old school running hook shot. Almost like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, bite your tongue.
Stop it.
What are you doing now?
Okay, it's not like that.
It's like George Mikan.
But it is a hook.
A little George Mikan.
Right.
Okay, that's it. Almost time for tip-off. We'll see you next time.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Celtics is sold out and noisy inside here in Boston. We'll see the Memphis Grizzlies taking on Boston. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. With Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
And so off the tip, it's Boston. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. A lot of defense with Conley and Lee in the backcourt. And it's Gasol at the pivot spot manning the middle. Taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career's been kind of up and down. Greg started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
That free throw good from Avery Bradley.
You know, with Avery Bradley, he was the 19th pick in the draft for the Celtics. The outlook for him was great, but then ball handling and shooting injury concerns flattened out his development. He had a hard time getting over the hump for a few years, but he's over it now.
All free throws good from Avery Bradley.
And, you know, getting back to Avery Bradley, he's been dynamite the last 2 years. He's finally found consistency with the mid-range jumper and plays a complete game of basketball. With just a little more seasoning, I really feel like the sky's the limit.
Randolph can't hit.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Smart kicks to Zeller. Gasol with the steal. Lee against Bradley. Passes it to Randolph. Lee dishes to Gasol. Gasol setting the pick for Conley. Lee goes in, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet.
Boy, Gasol with a punishing pick that time.
On defense, the Grizzlies. Smart passes to Lee. On the wing, Turner. He dishes it to Zeller. Nice ball movement by Boston. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bradley. And too long on the shot. Now the Grizzlies with it. Lee outside. And he gets the bucket. Lee's got his second basket of the game. Boston took a lot of steps forward last season with their coach, Brad Stevens. Still, though, their defense was near the middle of the road. That will need some tweaking.
Yeah, and you could say that seemed to be the limiting factor, Kevin, in how far they eventually went. Strange, given how several years ago they were an offensive juggernaut.
Now here's Lee after the miss from Tyler Zeller. Lee outside. He kicks it to Randolph. Shot from 12. And the shot falls short this time.
Yeah, you know, for the Celtics in their defense, a lot of it had to do with rim protection and challenging shots. They were actually last in the league in blocks.
Shots good by Lee.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Grizzlies have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And it's Conley penetrating off his leg, and the official saying it was kicked.
Yeah, and the Celtics averaged under 4 blocks a game last season, but blocks aren't the whole story. They let opponents get too many easy looks inside the paint. That's the real factor in why their defense was subpar.
And so it's Memphis with it. High arcing shot. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
That's an impressive spin move there, Kevin. I wasn't expecting him to show handles like that.
Now here's Smart. Dishes it to Lee. Shot from free throw range. Here's Zeller. Banked in off the glass. Zeller's got his first bucket in this one.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Randolph a screen. Outside Green. Here's Conley. And it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Now here's Smart. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 6 to shoot. Goes up on the high post. Rejected by Gasol. Moving it up. And it's Conley that time on the assist by Lee. 6 points for Mike Conley.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And guys, Courtney Lee now having completed 7 full seasons, very much the same guy now as he was entering the league. A 3-and-D prototype who will most likely never be a plus playmaker.
Smart kicks to Lee. Zeller setting the pick for Lee. Pass to Zeller. Stolen by Randolph. Conley dishes to Gasol. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Memphis.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
The first free throw is good. Now we know the Marc Gasol was one of the most sought-after free agents this past summer. Clark, all along, most figured he'd be back in Memphis.
Yep, a winning team, max dollars. And don't forget now, he went to high school in Memphis while his brother Powell played there. He's where he belongs.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Brandon Wright's checked in for Randolph. Barnes comes in for Green. Allen's checked in for Lee. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley.
Marc Gasol, a first-time All-Star starter last season. He and his brother Powell both starting in that game. The first time that's ever happened in league history, and having both those guys go head-to-head.
Now here's Olynyk. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. Memphis with the ball. They're on a 14-4 run.
Oh, listen, there's no doubt you could argue Marc Gasol is the best center in the league right now. I mean, this guy does it all. Defends, rebounds, passes, scores. I mean, he's also a great teammate. They all love him. And to me, that matters in the big picture. When you're talking about developing chemistry and trust, sometimes the difference between winning and winning it all is whether or not your teammates like you.
Now here's Thomas. Six on the shot clock. Stolen by Allen. And here we go. The Grizzlies on a fast break. Barnes can't get it to go.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Here is Thomas. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
The Celtics have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. That free throw good from Thomas. Now Udrih. The feed now to Carter. Can't get it to go. And that concludes the first quarter of play.